Hello everyone and welcome to Advanced Mixing in Ableton. I'm now working with a new client called Steve Gabriel. He is a pastor and he basically travels around the world evangelizing and teaching people about the love of Jesus through music. And he came to the studio and he dropped 4 tracks in one day. So if you want to have a look at my screen. Now, the first plugin in my chain is a Neve 1073. I just went on male vocal setting. I believe it just does what it needs to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off this automation. I'm going to have a quick listen. So as you can hear, the vocal sounds really to the back. So if I put my gain on, can you hear, especially when it does the ba, it's bringing it forward. This is off. And then with it on. It's keeping it closer to you. What we're trying to do is get small wins, make it a bit louder, make it sound a bit more close, because we've got a lot more plugins to do all that. The smaller the increments you can do of each plugin, the better the mix is going to be. The next one in the chain, this is the LA2A. So this is where I think the level will really jump up. This is it without. We have this one on. You can hear a massive difference there. And what I'm going to do is, what I want really, is I want this compressor to be consistent all the way through. So it's a bit painstaking, but what I'll probably do is, this is what I'm doing now, is I'm adjusting the gain on his vocal performance so the compressor works in the same way all the way through. Let's just have a quick listen. When he went Holy Father, it sounded nice, but I feel like I might need to just drop this gain down a little bit. Holy Father, Epiphany in my prayer. That actually sounds a lot smoother. Holy Father, Epiphany in my prayer. Need your face to shine on the earth. Holy Father, Epiphany in my prayer. Father, Epiphany in my prayer. Holy Father, Epiphany in my prayer. Right, so hopefully you can hear, basically I'm just giving a more, like I'm preserving the energy and the change in his voice without the vocal being too loud and too quiet in certain places. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to do the painstaking work and I'll be back soon. Right, welcome back. So now, as you can see, I've used my utility to draw in the volume changes and use my gain utility to add more gain when it's quieter and take the gain away when it's at a good level. So it looks a bit like a New York skyline, and that basically matches his vocals. So that's what I've done. And the next plugin that I'm going to use is probably going to be a surgical EQ, which will be Fab Filter. Let's get Fabby. All right, so Fab Filter here. First thing I want to do is just do a low cut, probably about 80 hertz. So all this does is really just cut out rumble. I'm basically, with this EQ, I'm trying to cut out stuff that I don't like. So let's have a listen. Like you can hear, I can hear the difference instantly. This is without. With. you know what? That just tightens it up a little bit. You can go a bit more to make it a bit more extreme. See how clean that sounds? Around this area here, I'm getting something that seems a bit sharp. I don't mind that. Right, let's just put that back on. Do you know what? I used to have this old trick where I used to do it on every track. I loved it. Just go around 800 hertz. Just do a 2 or 3, you know, dB boost. Listen to the lift. Alright, so now we're about, let's just make this cue a little bit slimmer. I don't want it too wild. That sounds kind of clean, man. So around about 6K, let's see what we can do. High, let's go shell. You should really begin to hear the sound changing.
World is in trouble, days we're not evil. God, you know alone what's going on.
Alright, I think that's sounding good. Let's have a look at Decapitator. Just basically add a little bit of saturation. So distortion is extreme saturation. This needs to be very, very light. I'm going to make it slightly, you know, I'm going to turn this mix down to very low. And I'm just going to just creep it in.
World is in trouble, days we're not evil. God, you know alone what's going on. World is in trouble, days we're not. World is in trouble, days.
Yeah, there I'm getting slightly too much gain reduction on my LA2A. So let's just go back to utility. Let's go back to the gain. Definitely here.
World is in trouble, days we're in.
Can you hear that like crunchiness? I'm just going to roll that back.
World is in trouble, days. World is in trouble, days we're in. World is in trouble, days we're in. World is in trouble, days we're in. Evil, God, you know alone what's going on.
That's really interesting. So I'm going to just turn off some of these plugins to see where is that coming from.
World is in trouble, days we're in. World is in trouble, days we're in. World is in trouble.
It's this. It's the LA2A. So
World is in trouble, days we're in. World is in trouble, days we're in. Evil. World is in trouble, days we're in. Evil. God, you know alone what's going on. World is in trouble, days we're in. Evil. God, you know alone what's going on. Is this the signs of time? The end really coming. Hearts of men really turning cold. This world needs salvation.
alright, cool. So that's sounding pretty good. Word of, yeah, let's have a look at this decap.
alone what's going on. Is this the signs of time? The end really. World is in trouble. World is in trouble. World is in trouble. Things are not evil. World is in trouble.
You can really hear it now.
World is in trouble. World is in.
I just want it to just be almost like you can feel it and you just can't hear it. We don't want to do that. So probably now I want to add like another compressor. So maybe a LA3A, just to kind of level out what I've done before. And I don't know, I think I'm going to try and aim between around 3 peak reduction.
World is in trouble. You know alone what's going on.
I think that's smooth.
Is this the signs of time? The end really coming. Hearts of men really turning cold. This world needs salvation. Lord, need you now. Father, please send help from above. We need to raise, change, we need to pray, change, we need to pray, change, 'cause on our knees we're stronger, pray, change, we need to pray, change, we need to pray, change, 'cause on our knees we're mighty. We can make a change today. Yeah. We can be the one who will stand and be counted.
That's sounding kind of nice, man. It's sounding vibey. I don't know. What I might want to do is do a bit more sort of like, not leveling, but like keep the vocal just in the face. So if we just go to, I mean, I think this preset is amazing. I've gone for single vocal enhancement. It does what it says on the tin. Let's have a listen from the beginning.
Holy Father, in heaven hear my prayer. We need your face to shine on the earth. The world is in trouble. Things are not evil. God, you know alone what's going on. Is this the signs of time? The end really coming. Hearts of men really turning cold. This world needs salvation. Lord, need you now. Father, please send help from above. We need to raise, change, we need to pray, change, we need to pray, change, 'cause on our knees we're stronger, pray, change.
All I was doing was just very gently changing the peak reduction on this LA2A, because what I was finding, I was getting a bit too much harmonic distortion, which I didn't really want. But now everything's sounding good.
You today, the world needs you, your prayers, they need them now. Before the final trumpet sounds, God will pour his spirit out. He's gonna answer our prayers.
Yeah, great. So we're kind of getting towards the end of the chain now. Let's just have a little think about reverb. Now, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to type in vocal hall and just put this on there. So we're going to send this vocal into that one, and then we're going to dial it back from there.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. 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 Holy Father, heaven hear my prayer. Need your face to shine on the earth. The world is in trouble, days wherein are evil. God, you know.
See, that instantly adds a lot of vibe. Now, this particular customer really likes echo on his voice, but he likes it in a certain way where it's almost like played like an instrument. So I'm going to just set this to maybe 90 BPM. I'm going to have it on quarter note, and I'm going to have a bit of feedback. And, you know, I shouldn't really put this on the main channel, but I've just got a particular process where I can just kind of mix it in as we go along. So where's the mix knob there? And then I can just do it manually.
Holy Father, heaven hear my prayer. Need your face to shine on the earth. This world is in trouble, days wherein are evil. God, you know alone what's going on.
All right, great. So I'm going to just kind of work that out, and I'll be back with you soon. Okay, guys, so I made some changes. I wasn't quite happy with the way my vocals were hitting the compressor. I'd overdone it, and I was starting to get a little bit of saturation. So what I did is I turned off my utility, and I added another thing into my vocal chain, which is a Manly Vox box. Now, basically what this kind of has done a little bit of compression. So compression is also another way of automating your gain, and I just found it was a bit better and a bit smoother than what I'd done. So I've put that in the chain kind of early, and I've still got my LA2A, but I've just made it work a little bit less. So I feel like now this is going to be my vocal chain.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. 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 Holy Father, in heaven hear my prayer.
So that is advanced vocal mixing. You've seen how I've experimented, I've made mistakes, but I've fixed them as I went along. And most importantly, I have my framework, but I have to use my ears. So I've kind of mixed down that lead vocal. I'm going to go and mix down the backing vocals in a similar way, and I'll give you some tips on how to do that. And then I'm going to just have a listen to the full song and share that with you, man. Respect.